Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show, and greetings to all of my friends in Iraqi Kurdistan. Uh, that is a good question. The most important reality in the Middle East today is a threat to the entire system security by Iran. We see this in Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, but also in Iraq. That is the overarching regional threat. We also see it in Iran's nuclear program. The Biden administration, unlike the US military, does not really recognize this to the degree it should. And it does not want a confrontation with Iran, but Iran is forcing a confrontation. That is the basic problem we have right now. Well, America has good relations with all elements of Iraqi society. We do not think that the Prime Minister, Mr. al-Sudani, hates America. We work well with him. But we do think that the Iranian-backed militias take orders from Tehran, not from Baghdad. We think it's a mistake to integrate them into the army. We think it's a mistake for them to have a political role as militias in the parliament, in the judicial system. We see this on things from the dismissal of the Speaker of the Parliament in Baghdad to the delay in getting the oil pipeline to Ceyhan, Turkey, running again. This is all an Iranian plot. Firing at the American forces in Iraq is part of it. Of course he does not. The situation is exactly the same as Lebanon. And that is my warning to all Iraqis, be they in Mosul, be they in Erbil, be they in Basra, be they in Baghdad. Look what happened to Lebanon. It was once seen as the pearl of the Orient. Now it is a devastated state. The World Bank says it's the biggest economic collapse in 150 years, and it is facing a possible war with Israel that would be even more devastating. That's all due to Iran and its agents in Lebanon, Hezbollah. That could well be the fate of Iraq if Iraqi patriots do not, throughout the country, stand up for the sovereignty of their own country and repel this foreign influence that does not care about Iraq. It is part of a proxy war, but it also is a different thing. The Iranians know that the US presence in Iraq, from my standpoint, unfortunately, is not aimed at putting pressure on Iran. I would contrast that with the American presence in Syria, which does block Iranian, Assad, and Russian expansion. But in Iraq, the United States is focused only on fighting the Islamic State, which is still a threat, but not a big one. But the Iranians see this as a way to respond to the fighting in Gaza. If Israel destroys Hamas as a major army, as a major offensive force, the entire Iranian Middle East project will be called into question. But Iran does not want a direct war with America, so it is doing things in Iraq. It is having Hezbollah attack Israel along the Lebanese border, and the Houthis fire missiles at ships. But nonetheless, this is showing that Iran is not capable of rescuing its ally Hamas, and Hamas will be destroyed, and that will be a major blow to Iran's ambitions in the entire region. I fear not. What we have seen is when the United States reacts strongly to Iran, sinking much of its navy in 1988, killing Qasem Soleimani, as well as his Iraqi agent, Mohandes, in 2000, Iran backs down. The American retaliatory strikes are not on Khatib Hezbollah, are not going to deter Iran. That would require threatening key Iranian assets. I do not think this administration at this time is ready to do that. Absolutely. for two reasons. First of all, the United States is helping our Peshmerga allies and our Iraqi army allies keep ISIS under control. But the other thing is, as you know, ISIS reflects feelings among the Sunni Arab population of Iraq. If the United States were to be pushed out by Iran, I believe that the Sunni Arab population will feel they have no place to turn to but to the Islamic State. That is the danger. I do not think so. I think that the United States at the strategic level has done two important things, and I want all your viewers to understand this. First, it has deterred Iran from seriously escalating in the region. Sure, we have the attacks in Iraq. Sure, we have the Houthis. Sure, we have Hezbollah. But none of this has a strategic element. The strategic element is the American deterrence. Secondly, America is supporting and enabling Israel's defeat of Hamas. And Israel will defeat Hamas just like Iraqi and Syrian and coalition forces defeated the Islamic State. The Islamic State still exists, of course, but it is not the kind of threat it was in 2014. That is the Israeli goal. They can achieve this goal with American help. They will achieve this goal, and that will be a tremendous blow to Iran. That's the second strategic element. So I would advise all of the friends of peace, the friends of us in America in Iraq, and they are many, to bear in mind that there is a large coalition that is pushing back in different ways against Iran. The moderate Gulf Arab states, the United States, Europe, Turkey, and Israel, and other countries such as Azerbaijan. You're not alone. Well, in the end, with the help of the forces throughout the region and around the world who want to defeat Iran, I believe Iraq will have a good future. But the Iraqi people have to resist as well. They have to realize that this resistance front, these Iranian-backed militias, are really not pursuing the interests of Iraq. They're pursuing the interests of Iran. And they have to be opposed in every way. Iraqis should not be making deals with them. They should be pushed out of the political system, and in every way possible, it should be clear that they have no future in Iraq.